Marcus, I'm excited to have you on my podcast today. I am deeply honored to have you with us, and I'm glad that Jill connected us together. And, we never really did this. We never saw each other in person or virtually or in person. It was just texting. And, it was like there was that synergy there, of what you do on your podcast, what I'm doing on my podcast to kind of help people out there and share a message and a mission to help others. So I'm glad you can come on, and I'm curious to know more about yourself and your journey and how you got to where you are today and interested in your podcast. So if you don't mind, just starting off with, who you are and, and how we got to where you are today, we can dive backwards.
Yeah, so my name is Marques Ogden. I'm from Washington, D.C. I live in a little bitty town called Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. I'm about half out outside the state capital of North Carolina, which is Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm an international and national keynote speaker, business coach, corporate trainer. I'm a corporate consultant. I'm a brand ambassador. I'm a best-selling author. I'm also the host of the Get Authentic with Marques Ogden podcast. But at the same time, I'm an individual who has hit bankruptcy, who has hit rock bottom, that has had $0 in his pocket. Literally, I had $400 left to my name total, home foreclosed on, both cars repossessed, no money, no nothing, just hanging on for dear life. And I lost everything I owned, right, John, because of my ego, my bravado, and just a really negative, toxic disposition of how I treated people and how I approached my everyday business and my everyday life.
Wow. I'm curious how you got through all that. We could discuss all that and, got to where you are today. But yeah, so where were you before you got, you lost everything? What did that look like?
So I was living in Baltimore after my NFL career, and I struggled immensely for about 6 months with alcohol addiction, gambling, women, nightlife, living a really unproductive, very unhealthy lifestyle. And I finally got myself together and got into construction and built something special between 2008 and 2000, I guess to be in the 2000, well, middle of 2012. And then unfortunately, at the end of 2012, I hit some snags with bad behavior, bad leadership, bad juju or bad whatever you want to call it. And I just really lost sight, right, John, of what mattered most, which is people, process, promotion, treating people correctly. And that was the beginning of my demise as a result of that ego getting inflated and getting bigger than the good part of my soul, which led to my company folding and then me having to leave Baltimore like a thief in the night and move to Raleigh.
Hmm. So what kind of learning lesson would you say that you took away from all that? You said you lacked leadership and, and you just packed up everything.
Yo, yeah, my God, man. And what I learned is that in life, right, John, when you're successful and you're fulfilled and you're prosperous, doesn't make you better than anybody else. Doesn't make you somebody that needs to feel that people need to cherish or worship the ground you walk on. People don't need to approach you like you're God or like you're this better than life person, right? And unfortunately, I didn't have any mentors in my life. I lost my father a few years prior to that. My father was alive. There's no way I go bankrupt because there's no way I would have ever turned into that egomaniac because he would have slapped me so hard on top of my head that I would never even thought about doing that. So I just lost that guidance. I lost mentorship. I lost someone to help me along the way. And, that's what I do now with coaching, right? I coach a lot of people. I just signed a new client. It's a former NBA superstar and his wife are going to work with me. They both want to speak and they both are going to be great speakers, but they both have a natural ability, but they don't know how to train it. And again, I was the same. I had this natural ability until I went to get coached by Mel Robbins in 2018. NAPSA, National Athletic Professional Success Academy in 2018. Without National Athletic Professional Success Academy and Mel Robbins, right, John? I am not who I am today. So coaching and guidance is what I was missing. I should have hired someone, right, John, to coach me, to mentor me. That would have been spending 5, 10 grand back then would have been the best thing for me to keep me from losing millions of dollars due to just an inflated, just super large ego.
Yeah. And I mean, what a learning lesson though. So if you didn't go through all that, you would have never hired these other coaches and would have been down this road helping other people in a different way.
Oh, sure, Tom.
Yeah. So it's kind of eventually you had to look for the opportunity on the side. That's what it sounds like. And, that could have been some time, I guess, maybe.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's everything, man. Like, where I'm at now, I had to learn how to value people. And like again, signing these awesome clients. I did this. I had 2 clients to sign paid for a good sum of money, right? But it doesn't make me better, right, John, than you or the next person or that person. It's just business. It's just everyday life. And that's who I am today. I don't look at what I have or what I've accomplished. It makes me better. What I judge myself off of is, do I remain the same person day in and day out? Am I still the same weird, quirky, funny guy that, loves to, I mean, honestly, John, I'm fine. Like, I watch TV, don't get me wrong, but I don't really watch a lot of the new shows, right? I don't watch like Bridgerton, or I don't watch like, what is that? Dawn of the Dead. I mean, Dead Alive. I don't know. The one with I don't know. Point is, right, John, like I love my stuff, right? Like I love my 80s action movies with Jean-Claude Van Damme or Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone. And like I can watch Don't Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Like I watch that like it's new to me. Like that's me, right? That's who I am, right? And I don't want to change, right? So, and today, who I am, I recognize as I'm becoming more successful and having all these things people think what are attainable things in life, it doesn't make me any different. Like I'm still the same quirky, weird, strange guy that loves his stuff. And I feel people respect that and really in that regard go from there. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. And I know your podcast is about being authentic and stuff. And that's basically what you're kind of sharing right here is you're showing up being your true self and being authentic. And, um, and that attracts the people that are coming to you because it's just you. You're not playing fake. You're not going out there. Yeah. Right. So you're being yourself. And did you feel like that when you lost your business and everything that I know you said you mentioned ego, but did you feel like that you were not yourself then?
Oh, good Lord. Yes, John. Like, how I say this? When I lost my business, I didn't realize that I wasn't myself because I was too pig-headed to realize it. After my rock bottom moment, after losing everything that I owned, that's when I realized when I had my spoiled milk moment, and I was a custodian with someone's trash, rotten meat, nasty, protruding garbage got all over me. At that time, at that moment, I was like, yep, I lost everything because I changed who I was. I was trying to be this egomaniac that had to have all the biggest cars. I had, a Hummer with my personal car, then F-250 trucks, Yukon Denali's, pickup trucks, cars and this and that. And then I had to have this big, big office, right? Right in downtown Baltimore. And, not a great area, but I was like, people come to the office, oh, look at me. Like you come into our office and go upstairs and we've got our estimator, we got our project manager, we got our this, and come on downstairs. You got my office and my partner, and go in the back. You see our conference room. And like, I got so caught up, man, in the look. And as a result, I lost everything because all that aesthetics didn't mean anything, right? Who I am now, right, John? I don't have a huge office. Now I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, I coach a lot of people and speak for all kinds of money. You know where my office is, John? Literally about 5 foot, 2 to 5 foot from my kitchen. Right. I made a bedroom, suite. I have a room and a bathroom. I made this my office. Right. This is where I do my things. Podcast, my jersey's here. I got a Break It Authentic sign here. Like, I'm not gonna go out and spend 2, 3 grand or more for an office trying to look good, trying to impress people. And if you listen to this and you're in that moment and you're struggling to really be who you are is good enough. Don't try to be something that you know you're not, or worse yet, trying to be something that you know you can't ever hold on and sustain and be. Why? What is the point? Who are you trying to fool? Right? You're not fooling yourself. You know who you really are, right? Why are you trying to fool other people? Right? Why? So if you're listening, you are good enough, and never ever forget that, and never ever lose sight of that.
Yeah, unfortunately, like for a lot of us, we have to go through something that's life changing, just like you lost your business. I wound up going through a divorce, which was my life changing moment. Uh, and then you kind of find who you are. You kind of, you know, reach out to different people. Like you'd mentioned, you reach out to Mel Robbins for speaking and stuff. You're going down a different course of life and learning from other people to become better. You know, so you lost your business and then you moved, and then what happened after that?
So then I moved to Raleigh, and then I was working a couple of different jobs after our car got repossessed and I had more money. The NFL kept us from going homeless. They paid 4 months of our bills to our creditors. And I was working at Merrill Lynch in Durham, got fired, all my fault. Got to a construction company the next day, got fired from that job 5 days later. They shut down their sales store. I'm out of the job. Worked as a custodian downtown Raleigh, had my rock bottom moment, became that accountable, responsible person, right? Job I knew I needed to be. And that got me going. I started to speak in September 2013. Didn't get a paid job for 2.5 years because I was all about trying to get paid, get paid, get paid. There was no value add. There was nothing I could bring to the table. And as a result of that, no one paid me. Got my first paid job in April 2016. Then it went cold for a little while. Then a good friend of mine gave me my second paid job ever in 2017 at the Buffalo Bills, talking to their rookies. I spoke for those guys for 3 to 4 years in a row. And that was awesome. Then I met Mel Robbins in 2018, met Brad Mitchell, my coach from NAXA 2018, got coached, got developed. As a result of that, in the last 6 years, we have spoken for over 60 Fortune 500 clients. 4-time best-selling author, 2 co-authored, 2 by ourselves, podcast, brand ambassador, business owner, you name it. But here's the catch. I'm also a guy that was literally, before I got all this stuff, at the bottom, making $8.25 an hour just to survive.
Yeah. Well, what did that feel like?
It was what I had to do, John, to take care of my family. I made a solemn promise to my now ex-wife when we were engaged, and I had a stepdaughter because her dad is very responsible, paid his child support, but he lived in Taiwan, very really soft. My stepdaughter who's now 20, and then we had our daughter the next year. I said, I'll do whatever it takes. I was a football coach, ran football trainings. I was a 7-on-7, owner of a franchise. I was a birthday party clown, playing football with kids at birthday parties, janitors, you name it. I did it, John, just to support my family because I made a promise to my ex who at the time was my fiance. And so I just worked. Everyone said, Mark, how was that not beneath you? Like, no, it's not beneath me. I needed to work, right? That's what I had to do, and that's what I did.
Yeah. And so it wasn't like you felt good providing. It wasn't the pride thing. right?
No. I felt great providing for my family in an honest way. And I felt great. And I feel even better today, John, that I didn't have to ask anyone for anything. Why'd you ask your brother, $50 million man? Like, well, what does that teach me? It teaches me nothing to go and get bailed out by somebody that had no involvement in the process. What did that have to do with it? John that had no involvement in this. So why are we even going to go and approach him? Oh, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. It would have just dug you out and you could have went back into the hole again because you didn't.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? That's where I would have gone, John. You know why? I would have had no appreciation for having to get up off the freaking canvas when life knocked me down to go forward.
Right. Yeah. And so it's a good thing that you did all that stuff. And I know you said you felt good about doing all those little jobs that to make things work for you and your family at the time. So you right now you are focusing on helping others speak. Is that right?
Correct. I do keynote speaking coaching. We want to grow a podcast. I do podcast coaching. You want to be a better leader. You know, if you want to be more, be a better time management, if you want to be a better business owner, an entrepreneur, I have many different talents from all I've gone through, from being an NFL athlete, being around great coaches, great players, great owners, being my own business owner, building a multi eight-figure construction company. I was up to almost $20 million a year revenue at a height, losing it all, having to move to Raleigh with no money, getting cars repoed off our lot. You name it, I had to go through it. And that, my friend, is why people love to work with us, because they know, for example, the NBA athlete who signed up, his wife told me that his story with one of his parents is exact how it's one of my parents. I don't have a great relationship with my mother. I don't. And he does not have a great relationship with his father. And the appreciation for that really made her feel, okay, wow. And I have experience in construction. They're trying to get into that too. I said, look, I'll coach you all on speaking. I'll mentor you for free with the construction because I want you all to come out on top.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so you have that connection there that you probably didn't even know about until you start talking to this.
None. And it's funny, right? You know, it's funny, right, y'all? I had no idea who she was until I met them tonight for a pre-podcast interview. Because one of my clients and good friends it's a 3-person host show. And so it's her co-host Robert, and herself. Her name is Misty. It was a pre-con call tonight. And by the end of the pre-con call, the former NBA superstar's wife was like, yes, you could be, let's have a call, had a 5-10 minute FaceTime. He said, send me a contract and I'll get you over a review it. I'll get you a payment and let's chat tomorrow and we'll set a call for next week. Boom.
That's it. That's all it took. I mean,
And his thing, she knows that I don't want anything from her and her husband other than to serve them as a coach. I don't care. He was an NBA superstar. I put NFL. My brother is regarded as the best offensive lineman in NFL's history. I don't care about that. He has interest in doing this. I want to help him become the best.
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and that's all it should be. Is you trying to move them forward to help. I'm guessing they want to help others by speaking.
Sure. I mean, and as you said, like he gets asked to speak all the time. But it's not a structure. It's not system. It's none of that. So she wants him, and I said, look, we want him to become a national, international keynote speaker, business leader that was an NBA superstar, not an NBA superstar that's trying to be a speaker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So it's he's slowly changing. He's shifting a little bit. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a big step. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. And this is just us like connecting now tonight, and you were just talking about before we hit record.
Oh, yeah. I mean, literally, John, the call was at 5:30, and we finished at 5. That's right. The call was at 5 with them, right, for the pre-con. Finished at about 5:40. She said, Marcus, please call me. Please FaceTime me. Boom. I said, here's what I can do for you all. $10K for 1 year coaching. She said, if he don't sign up, I am. So she said, send me over invoice, a contract / invoice. send me an invoice through your system. Off we go.
Oh, cool. Would you mind sharing a little bit about your podcast?
Sure. It's called Get Authentic with Marques Ogden. We interview awesome people that share real, unfiltered, raw stories to help our audience move forward in their lives. I don't care if you're an athlete, actor, superstar, athlete, business leader, mogul, doesn't matter. As long as you are authentic and share and are vulnerable, we got no problems.
Yeah. And you sent me the one, and that's the one I was able to like, wow, this is really great. I mean, it was a great interview, and I liked how you and that person interacted. So it was a good episode that you were able to send me at that moment. It happened to be perfect at the right time. Just like you were talking about, with this connection you just had before this.
Just happened tonight. Yep. I had no plans on selling a $10,000 package. None. Zero. I was just doing something to add value to them because they want to do a pre-con interview to get to know me before we do the actual interview next Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. So how does somebody like reach out to you to
Great question, Don. So you can actually have the Marques Ogden app. So if you just type it on your go to your app store on your phone, Apple or Android, type in Marques Ogden, MarquesOgden. It pops right up. You can then go ahead and check us out, and you can follow. It's a free app, right, John? You get exclusive content. You can follow our podcast. You can go to our website. You can connect with us, or you go to our website directly, www.marquesogden.com, MarquesOgden, or shoot me an email, marcus@marquesogden.com. We'd love to connect with you and see how we can help you along the way.
Is there like one tip you could suggest to people that are interested in speaking that you could share?
Learn to speak from the heart. Your heart is full of experiences and stories. Don't focus on what you can Google off of Google. That's not what people came to hear. They came to hear your stories, your experiences that are tied into the theme that you've been hired to speak on to get them thinking about their own lives and what they need to do to move forward in their journey.
That's well said. I have to go back to this one. So that's great. So I have a question I ask every guest at the end.
Sure.
What are 3 key things you've learned and used along your journey?
3 things I've learned along my journey. Number 1, vulnerability creates connectivity. Number 2, to be successful in life, focus, lock in, and attack. And number 3, when the heart believes, the mind knows. But if you don't believe with your heart that you can do something special or be great, no matter how much you know up here, it'll never move.
Yes. And
Think of here. If you don't have it here, like, for example, want to lose weight, you know what to do. You're going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning if you have to, like I do, and go work out. And when nobody sees you and like you could sit there and sleep an extra hour or two, that what you're going to do? Or are you going to get up and get it done? Right? The discipline, great quote by Abraham Lincoln. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Period.
well, that's all you need to know. It's well said right there. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. And just what you just shared about love again, and you could go back to what you just shared about speaking, coming from your heart.
Every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I've learned to get out of your head and live more in here. It's a day. It's a struggle with freaky. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is. Cool. Marcus, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I'll tell everybody his last day. In time of extreme darkness, focus on the light. Aristotle. You are good enough to move the needle forward. But if you don't believe in yourself, you can never blaze a trail for others. In times of extreme darkness, focus on the light. And as Aristotle said, you are the light to lead others to blaze their own trail by you blazing yours.
Well said. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Marcus, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your journey and everything that you're doing. You helping people speak and, getting out there and your podcast. So thank you.
Thank you for having me on, my friend. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.